terms, when they want, where they want, doing what they want. Ameriprise, the strength of a leader in retirement planning. The heart of 10,000 advisors working with you one-to-one. Together for your future.
For recess, let's hope that whoever wins the election, America gets the investments it sorely needs. For Lisa Carney at GPS, CNN Sunday morning.
I'm not a special interest. I am not a special interest. And we are not special interests either. We are teachers asking you to vote yes on 204.
204 renews the one-penny sales tax you already passed. But without a yes vote, education funding will be at risk.
204 provides support for children living below the poverty line, and it creates a stable, permanent funding source for classrooms that the politicians can't cut.
Please join your teachers, school board members, and local business leaders and vote yes on 204.
I'm Jeff Blake, and I approve this message.
There was an angry pounding on the door in the middle of the night. I'm a single mom. I feared for my kids and for myself. It was Richard Carmona, and I was his boss. Carmona's not who he seems. He has issues with anger, with ethics, and with women. I have testified to this under oath to Congress. Richard Carmona should never, ever be in the U.S. Senate.
Obama revealed. CNN October 28th, Sunday night, 9:30 Eastern.
I think the future of Las Vegas depends on the political leadership that we get in our state, in our country. After all, Las Vegas is a great national crossroads, a great international crossroads. To the extent that America is healthy and well-led, then Las Vegas will be a great reflection of that prosperity.
So I know you feel very differently about our economy. Tell me, are we better off than 4 years ago? And you obviously feel differently. Why? And what do we need to do to move America forward and start growing again?
Well, it was fun to meet Mark Cuban and to be here with him. And that was the first time I was listening very carefully when you were talking to him. And unfortunately, I disagree with him rather starkly. 4 years ago, Mark mentioned that we were in the throes of an earthquake. And everything was shaking.
Yes.
Because there was a fault beneath us. The fault had to do with home lending, irresponsible home lending, and a bunch of other reasons that we've discussed and don't need to repeat at this moment. Today, the shaking stopped, but the fault is orders of magnitude bigger. There is truly there's no metric, no measurement of the health of the American economy that isn't worse today than it was before. And anybody with any fundamental understanding of what our lives and our living standard is pinned upon will recognize that we are in much worse shape. At $16 trillion in debt and climbing, right now the government is borrowing, as everybody knows, 40 cents on every dollar.
Yeah.
But they're paying no interest for it. We're artificially repressing the cost of interest and keeping it at $400 billion a year. Let's remember, the government takes in $2.4 trillion a year. $400 billion of it or so is going to interest. When we're paying no interest, if we stop artificially keeping interest rates down,
Or investors say I want a better return.
well, they do. They have said they want a better return, which is why the Fed steps in, creates money, and pretends that it's outside money borrowing the Treasury money, which it's not. They got a fancy name for it called quantitative easement. Bernie Madoff went to jail for that. You can't borrow money.
It's true.
And so the result of all this is that the dollar is plummeting. My employees, let's get to what matters to me.
Yes.
My employees are being paid in 80 and 75-cent dollars, and it's going south. Even if I bring money from Macau and give raises and stuff like that, I can't keep up with the destruction of the living standard of the working people in my world.
So tell me, what do we do? You were a big supporter of President Obama. You voted for him. You gave money to the Democrats. You switched. Do you believe that Mitt Romney can really create 12 million jobs?
Mitt Romney doesn't create 12 million jobs.
Yes.
We know from the study of history that the only thing that creates a better life is the demand for labor. It is created in the private sector. If the government is going to hire everybody, it's called communism.
Right.
I mean, we put everybody in the Army, put everybody in the Postal Department, put everybody in the Agriculture Department. It's preposterous and ridiculous. And on top of it, the government makes a lousy deal on labor contracts.
Why, as you told me privately all the time, there's all this money sitting on the side, guys like you that.
2 or 3 trillion.
2 or 3 trillion. Why is it on the side? What's gonna get them back in the game?
What President Romney can do, what we've got in the White House today is a first-rate campaigner and a great speechmaker. And he's charming, and he's a nice man, but in this world, it's what you do, not what you say. We've become so fascinated with style and glitz. Sometimes, and there's a hell of a thing coming from a guy like me, but I've got to say, it's what you do, not what you say.
True.
We've got a guy running for office, Mitt Romney, who's not as good a campaigner as the president, but would be a first-rate president. The president is a first-rate campaigner, a third-rate president.
Let me tell you something. We've got 2 minutes. I'm gonna interject. I want people here to get real specific solutions around healthcare. I know you're worried about your employees. Why do you think the healthcare program is so poor? What's missing from it? What would change?
Any bill that's 2,700 pages, if you're a citizen and you're looking at this television program, I'm going to make a intemperate statement. If a piece of legislation is 2,700 pages, the public is getting screwed. Nothing that's 2,700 pages, nobody has read it. It's an outrageous example of
There's really missing competition. Is that your concern?
If we take a break,
Right now, their lumber prices are increasing for employees.
Tony, when they take a break at CNN, most likely you're going to see an argument between Progressive, Allstate, and Geico on cheaper auto insurance.
Next time I do numbers when you go to
AT&T and Verizon on cheaper
300.
health cell phone service. Yes. You'll never see an ad for how to get cheaper health care insurance because that's locked in
Right.
state by state. One of the things we've got to do is get health care
Just
national, the border is taken away, so we can have ads
the
on
other
television
day,
for private insurance. That'll cause the price to go down just like it
Mrs.
does for
Fuller
health insurance,
said,
just like it does for your cell
you
phone.
You did
want
this
to go to
for your own
300
company. Did you
and I
not
said
have
yes.
Tell me
And so I'm going to 300. I used to go to 200 and I'm going
I
to
got my
300.
unit, culinary,
Yes.
with Betsy, with Missy, the wife of the head of culinary unit. And Betsy and my guys went and took the cost of MRIs and CAT scans from $1,000 and $500 down to $300 and $250, stuff like that, by ganging up and using cooking courses.
Yes.
Now, Ryan's idea was that anybody less than 55 would have it, 55 and over, you get Medicare as it is. If you're other than that, if you're younger than 55, you can have Medicare just the way it is, but you also have a choice. You have a choice of private insurance that's advertised nationally. And depending on your income, if you make less than $250,000, the president wants to think everybody making $250 or more is a billionaire or millionaire. I'll say one thing. As a person that makes more than $250, I've not to have the government support my health care. I can afford my own insurance, and so can everybody else who makes a lot of money. Health care for people who have no money is Medicaid. We've always had it. For people who make more than nothing, but less than enough to buy their insurance competitively, they ought to keep Medicare just the way it is. And I think that's exactly what the Republicans are suggesting.
We're going to come back. We're going to bring you back with our dream team here, our economic dream team. But our next person is Stephen Pickens, a billionaire who started after 7 years after a new career between 70 and 84 and is trading the world upside down with his energy pledge. Stephen Pickens is next.
I know, you said
No. You had it like that. I mean, you had it like that. You need to move that way. The thing is, this is sharp. I'm not ready for you to do that.
I know, I was just getting ready to do it.
Your new business really needs new business. Get the word out with the HP OfficeJet Pro. Professional color printing for 50% less per page than laser. Making it
That helped. Good enough. Try it.
getting the right car insurance is easy.
You know what I think you were doing last night when you were on the couch here? You had fallen asleep, you know, and then you sat up, and you had your feet out, and your body up,
This is
out,
what
and up.
you could do it in bed.
No.
You were over here. So you were laying in here, right? And all of a sudden you kind of sat up and you were waking and doing your eyes.
But you never opened your eyes.
Then you sat up like this and you were moving your arms and then you would go back and you would bring your legs up like this and do things.
Oh,
and
I
then
forgot to put
then you
it.
would sit back up.
Then she put her legs out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, stop
And
this
you would
one.
go back with your legs up and you were like,
You know, I think you were doing. I think you were practicing a front flip in your dream. I do. That's what it looked like.
I don't think I have a dream.
You were definitely.
Not in a front flip. You don't know my dream.
Look at this, Dad. Give it this way.
You're tickler. Here you go, Dad. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I drive this truck for hours at a time, and trust me, these seats are hard as a rock. Since I started using Forever Comfy, my back feels good and my bottom feels good.
The soft fleece cover is washable and helps keep your seat cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Lightweight.